Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is your fantasy podcast, Baseball. Me and my boy Ant in the building. What's up, Ant?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Yo. We got a cool little show for you guys today. We're going to be going over the MLB injuries. We got some very early surprises for you guys, the top fantasy players so far, a couple free agent pickups that we want to take a look at. And, of course, the most important thing in the head-to-head league, the double starts, Ant, right?
Oh, crucial. Make or break your week.
Make or break for sure, man. So let's just start off with some MLB injuries, man. Robbie Ray got that flexor strain. He's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, those guys you probably drafting pretty early in most drafts. You're probably drafting probably 6th round. That's pretty early for most people, and out for quite some time. So he's going to be one of the guys who's going to hit on that IL that you're going to need to fill for at least, I'm going to say, probably 3-4 weeks. And he might not be that easy to fill the void because he has some hit or miss games, but overall, I feel like he's a probably top 20 to 25 pitcher.
Yeah, but he hasn't been the same pitcher. I mean, it wasn't last year, it was the year before, right? Where he had that great run. Yeah, yeah. So, but ever since then, he hasn't been the same.
Last year he was like, wishy-washy, but he caught on pretty late. But yeah, I know what you mean. This year, I think there's some those years where he's going to come out and just be a little more not necessarily lights out, but be a solid body at work,
just serviceable at least, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure, man. I was never been a big on Robbie Ray. I mean, he's been one of those kind of. He had that one fluke year, and ever since then, like Ant's saying, he's always been that kind of like okay kind of a pitcher, or a solid double star kind of a pitcher, but never that dominant pitcher that you can just leave in your lineup and lock him in there like a for sure ace. But
he's never an ace.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, he'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So I know he does have some fantasy value, so he's a guy to keep an eye on for sure. But yeah, in about 2 weeks, we'll take a look from there. We also got Max Fried. He's got a hamstring, man. Looks like he's going to go on the IL, man.
That one was ugly. That looked atrocious. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but he went straight to the IL, so that's not good. Straight to the IL, like they didn't even look at him or anything. So I'm pretty sure they looked at him, but they didn't do anything where he was MRIs and such like that. He went straight to the IL. He's probably gonna be done for, I'd guess,
a good amount of time for sure.
Yeah. I'm not going to go on. I'm going to go on a whim and say at least 2 months. That's at least eight starts, maybe 10 starts.
Yikes! So, but the good thing about it is that Atlanta's young pitching staff, though. I was just going to go there next. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they've been pretty fortunate with their pitching staff the past couple years. Sorry, and they have. I don't want to say Max Fried is not really replaceable, but they won't be hurting like a lot of other teams would be.
Yeah, exactly, man. I know there's a couple of guys that I know you had one on your roster, but we were waiting for the IL to take place, so we had to dump a couple. I know I had one, and actually there's a third one. So I know it's an unfortunate injury for the Braves and everything, but they got a lot of young pitchers out there, man. They were just pitching really great in the Cactus League, and so I mean, I feel like they kind of will be all right until he gets back. I mean, they've always had the good youngsters. Even what was that other guy, Ian Kennedy or something like that, from 2 years ago? He actually pitched very well even in the postseason. So I feel like they got a good bunch of coaches out there, and I think they should be able to fill the void for at least however long it is. Hopefully he gets back as soon as possible, though.
Yeah, it's kind of fortunate because they got the Kyle Wright out too, so that's two pretty serviceable pitchers that they're going to be missing for quite some time, probably. Well, Kyle Wright, I believe, is going to be back a lot sooner than Max Fried is, but right now they got like this guy named Dodd going to be pitching for him, and they got this Schuster guy. I think he's getting rocked right now. So yeah, as we speak, I think he's getting rocked. So yeah, they got some holes to fill, but I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be all right for sure. Moving on to let's see. We got Trevor Story, elbow. Looks like he's expected to throw in 2 weeks. I mean, he's a solid shortstop. I mean, very serviceable guy. I mean, what's your take on this guy?
Trevor Story, he's a pretty big name in baseball. I mean, he got paid all that money to come to Boston, and he hasn't really done a whole lot. So that's why I say, like I said, the draft, say it every week, you get paid and you don't play. That's how I feel with a lot of players. I mean, I can't say it for everybody, but I feel like you get paid, you get that big check, and you don't produce. But his injury's been pretty substantial. He's been out for quite some time, so he's not even going to come back for at least another month or two. So
yeah. Is this the guy? Is this the guy you kind of look at, kind of stash on? He's on a 60-day DL, but I mean, it's still kind of too early for him, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, if somebody stashes him, that's you don't really need to take that chance at this point. It's too early to be wasting your ILs on guys who are going to be out for 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a guy to keep, just a name out there. I know it's still early, but you always want to just keep an eye on him, man. You never know. Always check the news on these guys. But I mean, yeah, he's a great second baseman. Second basemen are hard to come by. So I mean, this guy has pop to him too. For a second baseman, he's one guy. Just if you're hurting at that position, that's one guy to just put him in your back pocket, and you just once it starts getting closer, maybe then pull the trigger. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks before he's ready to come off IL. Joey Bart, man, go ahead. What's going on there?
This man, we've been waiting on this guy to do anything for 3 years now. We've been waiting on this guy for any kind of success, and he's giving us nothing, time in and time again. So I'm not off the Bart train, but I'm not too juiced over him at all. But the Bart train. for any Bay Area guys, NorCal guys. But yeah, it's just one of the guys. He's young. He's got all the tools. I mean, he can play catcher great. He doesn't do it. Like he doesn't. I mean, he's a pretty good catcher, but when it comes to the bat, he just not there. He's not at the MLB level.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this guy, but I know wasn't he one of the higher draft picks? Coming out
high pick, big farm guy for us. He was supposed to be big name for us coming out when he's finally ready to go. And he hasn't panned out for us yet. That's what I'm saying. I'm not totally giving up on the guy, but he's still pretty young. But catchers are different. I don't know what it is about catchers, but catchers, they tend to blossom differently.
I heard he was supposed to be the next Posey, man. What's going on?
Hey, 100% Posey, next top 5 catcher in baseball, like kind of like Adley Rutschman is coming into right now, but he's not Adley Rutschman, unfortunately.
Well, he got placed on IL. I mean, well, we'll see what it was. It was just a mild. It's just a mild back strain.
Back issue.
So it's. I mean, with catchers, you're expected to get injuries like that. Those guys are just behind the dish all day and in practice and just working on that throw. So hopefully it's just a quick stint on the IL and he's back out there. Last guy I got out there who's been making some fantasy noise is Jorge Mateo. I think he's the second or shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles, believe it or not. But this guy's been on fire since Thursday. 2 or 3 games. I know it's early, but he's already on the injury list. But he hasn't hit the injured list for sure. But I just wanted to throw this one out there because when you start seeing guys like this, before a head-to-head matchup like us, aren't you kind of like, man, I don't know, because you don't want to put him in that starting lineup and then he hits the IL on Monday, right?
Yeah, especially tomorrow being Monday and all, and it's tricky because you don't want to roll the dice too early in the season and then you're down 1, 2, 3 games like that. Especially a guy like him, he's hot right now, but just a couple games, you're going to come out hot. Some players come out cold. You never know. I definitely wouldn't take a chance on him this early, especially if maybe you start the season 0-1. You don't want to start 0-2 by any means, so you don't want to take the chance. Yeah, like we both said multiple times, there's not very many players we take a chance on in Baltimore anyway. So,
hey, this guy's swiped 4 bags already, man.
Yeah.
For me, this is a guy you kind of take a look at. I mean, he's not the flashiest guy. He's not gonna hit you for power, but he's one of those guys who's gonna run around those bases. So he's one of the newer up and coming guys. So kind of take a look at this guy slowly. Check his. I don't know the history. Some guys we could look at and be like, oh man, the guy. Once you see that red cross on him, you're like, oh man, here we go. We're following the same routine as we do every year, because a lot of guys in the league are like that. So this guy's newer. Take your time with him. like Ann said, yeah, you know, a lot of people start hot, and then you know you want to ride that train, but with the newer guys, you gotta see how the flow goes. Let's move on to our next segment here. We got some very early surprises, man. First I want to start off with Trayce Thompson, the brother of Klay Thompson. How about that, huh?
That's what everybody knows him for.
MLB history, 8 RBIs, man, in his season debut with 3 jacks.
Yeah, 3 bombs.
Tell me about it, man. Were you able to like see the highlights of that or what?
No, I see people tweeting it. I see people texting about it. I was busy day yesterday. I had some stuff for the poker tournament, but yeah, Trayce Thompson. What can you really say about him? You don't really have a lot of film on the guy. Everybody knows him for Klay Thompson, so I mean that's where it all comes from. But he's had sparks. I mean I'm kind of joking a little bit, but he's had moments where he's shown more than just your average guy. But he's not nothing to blow anybody away about. So I wouldn't get too juiced up over this. I would wait on it.
Do you think he has potential to be, an everyday, fantasy guy, or do you think this is just a one trick pony type thing?
I think he could be an everyday outfielder for the Dodgers. He's still on the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, every day on the Dodgers, I think he could be an everyday guy for the Dodgers, maybe, but everyday player for your fantasy lineup, not yet. That's what I'm saying. Don't jump on that too soon.
Okay, that's another wait and see, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, shout out to Klay Thompson and the Warriors, man. Just real quick, since we got that brotherly love here. Go Dubs. Another one I want to talk about. Hey, man, opening day. It was A's and Angels. I know a lot of people. It's not the flashiest lineup, but did you see that catch in the outfield?
I did. It was a pretty nice. I don't know if it was luck or if he did it on purpose or what, but that was.
I wanted to throw that out there. Is it too early to say catch of the year on that one right now? Or
by all means, no, it is not. That will definitely be guaranteed top 5, but that could be easily top 3. Yeah.
When I saw it in slow motion, the guy was it's like he looked at it on the left and then he kept running and then he just put his hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he just luck of the draw or if he did it on purpose. He's that good with the glove or what? But I mean, Hunter Renfroe, I don't think he's really ever been a big glove guy either. I'm not seeing no gold gloves out of this guy, so I'm trending towards more of the luck side. But
hey, man, a catch is a catch, out's an out. I mean, he got the play done, but they ended up losing that game to the A's later on that day. Shout out to the A's. Shout out to the A's, my boy.
A's always do like that.
All right. Last thing I got to say on this very early surprise. Hey, man, I don't like to touch these guys because they're pitching in Colorado.
Yucky.
We got 2 pitchers, man, that we both talked about.
Yeah.
The 1 and 2. Those guys are pitching lights out. No, it's one game. I know it's one game, but you know what, Ant? They did not pitch in Colorado. I'll tell you that right now. They pitched in was that San Diego?
San Diego, yeah, Petco.
But hats off to them, man. They did their thing.
Yeah, we gave him a lot of criticism last week. It's kind of, it's not like a criticism is not, given regularly, but they're not really that great overall. But what they did so far this year, you raise an eyebrow. You're like, wait, maybe Kyler Freeland got paid all that money for a reason. Maybe German Marquez. Maybe he turned a new leaf, so who knows there, but you really never know, man.
Stop it, man. Hey, it's still too early, man. That's what we have in here. Definitely. Hey, one start doesn't change the picture. I'll tell you that right now.
I know.
But I got to give these guys their credit. They did pitch lights out.
They went up against probably the nastiest batting order in baseball right now in San Diego and came out unscathed. So it's a tip of the cap by all means, but at the same time, like we're saying, overall, I don't necessarily look at all that and just jump to the waivers and grab them, because next week these guys can destroy your lineup at the same time as well as they're bringing it up. So yeah, I'd give it a week or 2 more, but definitely keep your eye on them. because maybe Kyle Freeland, and German Marquez are doing something.
Could be something. Remember, I want to say it was a while back. Remember when that pitcher from Colorado, what was his last name? Jimenez. He had that.
Baldo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, no, I remember that year. Nobody drafted him because it's Colorado, right? I mean, nobody's gonna draft him. I mean, it's just hard to draft a guy out of Colorado, but you never know. Maybe we get one of those. Maybe we get one of those seasons out of him, and he learns how to pitch in Colorado. But wait and see. Like I said, you're gonna see a lot of wait and see, man. It's way too early, man. We still got 22 weeks. We got plenty of weeks to go, man. So just the guys to keep on. I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about them later in our fantasy pickups.
It's a grind.
Yeah, fantasy pickups. All right, top fantasy players so far, man. CJ Cron's leading the list. He's got 29 points going into today. Dude slugging the ball, man. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 2 walks. He's only struck out twice. He's 7 hits in all. He's got 3 runs scored. Tell me about him, man. Averaging 6.36.
Yeah, he was going pretty deep in drafts too. He wasn't getting drafted too early. I'm really surprised by the strikeouts. He's only struck out twice. That's kind of blowing me away. So maybe he's working on his swing. Maybe he's working on his plate approach. I don't know, but maybe seeing that ball better, the ball a little better too. I don't know, but he's looking good so far, and he's one of those guys who should be rostered in every format. If he's not, which he probably is, and yeah, he could 2 years ago he hit a lot of home runs, so he could be back on that
train for sure, man. Yeah, he's a guy in my eyes that I looked at, and I thought he should have been rostered straight from draft day. I think somebody dropped him in our league, and he ended up getting picked up by Ant for sure. But yeah, I mean, he's one heck of a player to be able to pick up right now. He's hot. This guy can stay hot, and he could be easily a 40 home run kind of guy. But I know we lost Ant here, but I'll keep it moving without him until he jumps back on here. And we just talked about Trayce Thompson, man. I mean, he's starting the year off pretty good. I don't even know if he's the everyday outfielder. I think there's a platoon out there, and those guys are just just sharing the outfield because they got a lot of hitters out there, and then they're playing the pitchers left and right. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be going on. 1 second, we lost. And let me see. Let me get them back here. All right, cool.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was already moving on to the next one, and I was on Trayce Thompson. I was talking about I think he's in a platoon in the outfield because of how many hitters they got out there, and they like to play against the lefty righty type deal, and it was just Thompson's day to hit, and that's why he kind of went off that day. I mean, he damn near put up all those points in one day's worth of of hitting. So that's one cause of concern of if you're trying to add somebody, and we talk about don't add them too quick. The guy put up 22 points in one game. It's very possible to do that, but to do that every day, it's not going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. He just caught that ball really well. But for me, not one of the guys I'm looking forward, trying to put on my team right now. And you just got to wait and see. Trayce Thompson, right?
You want me to talk about him too?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, like I said earlier with him, he's like I said, he hit 3 bombs one game. He might not hit another home run for a month, so you never know, man. So I'm not taking a chance on him for at least a week or 2.
Yeah,
probably 2 for sure. Like I said, if he can become an everyday guy in the Dodgers lineup, which it's hard to do, but the Dodgers are pretty filled all over the roster, so that's gonna be kind of hard to do to be an everyday guy. But if he can become an everyday guy, he can give you a lot more, at least more at bats. But until he gets more at bats, more looks in the lineup, I wouldn't touch him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, three hits off 4 at bats in 3 games. That's just or 2 games, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if they played on Friday, so that's just tell the story right there. Next up, we got old man Charlie Blackmon. How about that? Already on top of the fantasy points, man. How about him?
Yeah, he's one of those guys I tried to pick up in one league. I already used my waiver ads in a daily league, so I couldn't pick them up. I used all 5 of my ads for the week, so I couldn't get them. But yeah, he looks like he's in where he did last year. Pretty good. Hitting the ball pretty decent. He's hitting in the 3 spot, so that's going to be great for him as long as he can, continue the success he has, because the 3 spot's like golden. You 1, 2, maybe one guy gets on base, you knock him in, and then if not, 3 spot, you can also get on base and you maybe get a run out of it. So that's a pretty good spot to be in, and he's pretty successful so far.
Yeah, man. He's 6 for 12, batting .500. He's got 4 runs scored. He's got 3 singles, 2 doubles. He's got a home run. I mean, he's got a little bit of power. You got to watch out for that. He's got that old man power. That's what we like to call it. You know what I mean? 3 RBIs. He's only struck out twice, and 19 fantasy points already. And that's only in what, 3 games?
Yeah, 3 games.
Hot, man. So yeah, he's keep an eye out. I've always liked Charlie Blackmon, man. He's when he's on the field, he's very productive. But the injury bug catches this guy a lot. So that's one guy to be careful with looking at. I know outfielders, plenty of outfielders out there, and but I feel like he's one guy that should be rostered on the team, as long as he can stay healthy. So just keep an eye on those crosses. When you see him, cut his finger, or he just comes up a little, sore on the hammy once in a while. So just keep an eye on this guy. All right, let's keep it moving on. Adam Duvall, man, Boston outfielder. The guy's hot right now, man. He's got 5 hits and 9 at bats. He's batting .556. He got 6 RBIs, 2 homers. He's got a triple, and he's got 5 hits. So I mean, he's got 24 fantasy points. Outfielder for Boston, man. I mean, he's hitting in a good place. That's why. I mean, I know Boston's got the homestand right now, and I don't know how long he's been there. I think he's kind of new there, because I thought he was in Cincinnati last season.
I think it's first year. Yeah, first year in Boston.
Yeah. So he's in a more likely a hitter's ballpark now. So I mean, I've never really been high on him, but I know he hits for power. And if he's hitting in Boston now, I mean, I don't know, maybe one guy to keep your eye on.
Yeah, I would wait on him as well. He's not. He's really streaky. Like if he'll go games where he'll go weeks where he has 5-6 home runs. Next week he'll have 15 Ks, no home runs. That's why I was kind of surprised by everybody on the list so far really low on the Ks. These guys all are more, not other than Charlie Blackmon. I would say everybody on the list so far is more well known for the strikeouts. So that's kind of a surprise for me. But Adam Duvall, yeah, new stadium, new team. The ball carriers in Boston. The triple for his speed is surprising, but the ballpark is what helped him out, obviously. But that ballpark has holes everywhere and funky walls and stuff. So, I think he could have a little bit of a resurgence. The batting average is going to be probably pretty bad, probably 240 ish. But he can have. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he has 30 home runs. But I mean, a lot of the time with Duvall, he'll have 30 home runs and 70 RBIs, so it's not like he's driving everybody in either. So
yeah,
a lot of solo shots.
Yeah. All right. And I think the last guy we have, and these are just top fans. These aren't totally free agents. These are just guys that are just top performers for so far in the first couple of days. Cedric Mullins, outfielder. He's one guy that should be rostered on everybody's team. This guy's pretty electric for Baltimore. We don't talk about a lot of Baltimore guys, but this guy should be on your roster somewhere. He started off with 20 fantasy points so far. He's batting a cool 375. And this guy's fast around the bases. He's going to get you those stolen bases. And I think he's batting in the 3 or 4 spot. So he could give you just enough RBIs at that spot. But, I mean, it's just to worry about the Baltimore's offense, man. I mean, you just got to have guys on the bases for this guy to be productive.
Yeah, they're a really young squad. I'm just more worried about the home run success from him. And I think he'll have a good amount of opportunities to drive in the runs. But overall, I think he's more of a batting average, swipe bases, and driving an okay amount of runs. But like you were saying earlier, all these players that we're talking about are either keep your eyes on or maybe potential trade candidates, depending on if you need to fill a position. Yeah. So Cedric Mullins, he should be rostered in every league. So if he's on your waivers, pick him up. I mean,
oh, for sure. There's no way he should be there. But if he is,
you never know. I mean, yeah, it happens every now and then.
Yeah. If it's a brand new league and you're just starting out with fantasy baseball, this guy should be on a roster. Let's move on to the pitchers, man. Aaron Seville. I mean, this guy's been up and down the last couple of years. When he first came out, he was pretty solid, and then he had a very, very bad year last season. And he starts the year off pretty fresh this season, man. He's let's see what he's got here. He's got 7 innings pitched. He had only 3 Ks, walked 1, and allowed 2 hits, but didn't allow any runs. So he put up 29 and a half fantasy. I mean, is this the start of the Aaron Seville we saw about 2 years ago, do you think? Or
yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on him for sure. He's the only thing I was worried about there. I looked at it. He 3 Ks, but he only allowed 2 hits. So that's great. The Ks aren't completely throwing me away from him, but the hits are keeping my eye on him. And he only allowed 2 hits. That's great. And he got to the quality start. So that means he went at least 6 innings. So
like 7.
7, okay, yeah. Well, quality started game 6, but he ain't allowed no runs. I mean, that's pretty much that's where the Ks come in. That aren't scaring me away. But no ERA, only 2 hits allowed. So I mean, he was pretty lights out. So I would definitely take a look at him.
All right, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent in everybody's league, but he just happened to be this so far. The starting pitchers fantasy top performers. We're going to go into a couple of guys who should be already owned. Garrett Cole, we all know what he did. You know, he just was lights out against those. I think he played the Giants. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. I know you know for sure, Ant.
Yeah, he wrecked my Giants. For 6 innings. He just wrecked them. But I mean, a guy you didn't put on the list, Logan Webb, who went against him. He had no run. Game. Yeah, he had no run support, man. No run support at all. I think he ended up allowing 4 or 5 runs, but it looked a lot worse than it actually was. He had 12 Ks. I mean, he was right there with Garrett Cole the whole game, and he just had no help. But yeah, Garrett Cole, he's top 5 pitcher in baseball, so there doesn't need to really be said there. Other than that, he's going to give you those numbers all year long.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking probably about him a lot this season. He's gonna be up there in the top fantasy players of the week for sure. So that's one name you're always gonna hear. How about this one, man? Oh man, Clayton Kershaw's up there, man. I thought this guy was kind of on the downtrend of, just being a mediocre pitcher, kind of going like being that okay guy. But he came out firing, 6 innings pitched, man. Quality start. He had 9 Ks. I think he gave up a run and only 4 hits. Put up 27.5 fantasy points.
Yeah, the Ks there are real nice. I've always said about Clayton Kershaw, man, if he's healthy, he has the mechanics, he has the IQ. I mean, he'll get it done for a long time. And just based off how nasty his pitches are, man. He's a filthy pitcher, and the injury bugs always hit him.
Always, man.
Yeah, always, man. So I mean, he was going in probably the middle to highest in drafts, not too high, but the middle of the pack in drafts. I mean, if you drafted him, you're definitely getting your investment, what you paid for there. So it's not really hurting you.
I don't know why, but he always falls to me. I mean, when I see him there, I think I've had him the last 3 or 4 years, because when I see Clayton Kershaw and it's like the 5th round or 6th round or something, I'm like, why is this guy still here? I mean, he's still very, very serviceable for me. And he'll get you that 20 plus points in one start, which is amazing, because that's what you want from an ace type pitcher in fantasy. If an ace can give you like at least 20 points in a single start, I'll take that anytime.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy, he just does it. And then what also helps, he pitches for the Dodgers, man. He's going to get some help, even if he gives up like 3 or 4 runs. I mean, that run support he has out there easily can help him out at any time. Spencer Strider. Actually, I was watching this game. The dude was just painting those outside corners when I was watching it. And this dude is just nasty, man. The dude put up 26.5 points. He had 6 innings pitched, got the quality start, got the win, 9 Ks. Yeah, he walked a couple of guys, 3 guys, but didn't give up a run.
Yeah, he's pretty much starting off where he left off last year, lights out. We've been preaching this since day one on this podcast. The Braves pitching rotation is filthy. Young, they're all paid well, so they're going to be there for a while, and they're not changing. They're doing their thing. They're all in a little groove together, and they're going to put up numbers probably week in and week out for you if you own them.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we got Shane McClanahan. Isn't that your guy?
Yeah, Shane McClanahan.
Yeah.
He was a Cy Young candidate last year. He, like I said, with Strider starting off where he did last year, pretty good baseball. He could use a little more help with the batting, but like kind of like I said with Brandon Webb. But overall, he's a pretty filthy young pitcher.
Yeah, for sure, man. And then last guy we got here is Marcus Stroman. I got this guy late in the rounds, but what happened was I benched him on accident. You know what I mean? Not on accident. You know what? I think I just overthought it. And Stroman's been one of those guys that's just never been consistent. He'll pitch you one good game and then he won't. So, but I got to see one more game on this guy. I mean, he pitched pretty good. He did pitch against Milwaukee. It's not a high powered offense there, but I mean, he did his thing. I mean, he had 8. He's not really a K guy, but he had 8 Ks. He didn't give up a run, 3 hits, 6 innings, got the quality start, and he got the dub. 26 points, man. I mean,
he didn't give up a run. That's a key word there. Yeah, I don't blame you for not.
I think we lost Ant there again. Hopefully we can get him back. All right, we'll see what's up. But yeah, Stroman was very, very upset with like me not starting him, man. Put 26 points on my bench. Honestly, I could have really used them. I'm fighting for my life right now in the 3 games. Right now, I'm not 100% sure where what I should do with him yet. I mean, he's a good pitcher, but like I said, he's just very streaky, and I'm not 100% sure if I want to start him next week. I know he's got I think an easier matchup next week. Here, let me check real quick while we wait for Ant. This game log. I mean, they're going to be pitching against. It says Milwaukee. Actually, it's not showing. When I looked it up, it wasn't a very good matchup. I might do one more wait and see. I know he put up 26 points. He pitched well, but he's never been really the guy that's going to put up a lot of Ks. So he's always been a perfect double start for me, but he can get you that 20 plus points. And when he does, he can do some amazing things there. All right. So moving on now, waiting for Ant to get back here. Oh, there he goes. Technical difficulties. You want to just finish up on Stroman real quick before we move on?
Yeah, like I got cut off. He only allowed no runs at all. That's something you never hear from Marcus Stroman. And I think he's the number 1 in Chicago because Kyle Hendricks is hurt. So right there, I would definitely consider picking him up if he's not already owned. Because I mean, this guy he's shown really nice flashes of greatness, and then at times he has games where he allows 6 runs. So I mean, it's kind of wishy-washy, but Marcus Stroman, I think he's worth owning in most formats just due to the fact that he's the number 1 in Chicago.
Yeah, man. I'll have to wait one more week before I can trust him. I mean, he likes to give up that long ball a lot. He takes a lot of chances over the middle of the plate when he gets behind in the count. And when he serves that one right down the middle, man, just serving up lollipops right there, man. Can't be doing that, and especially against these type of hitters. MLB up in the show for a reason. But waiting one more week for me for Marcus Stroman I kind of like see if I want to leave him in the starting lineup. But 26 points is a good start for me. I mean, all right, top free agent pickups. There's going to be a couple of guys we already talked about, but we're gonna tell you if if you should add them right away. I mean, there might be a guy out there, you're hurting at the starting position, starting pitcher position, and if they're worthy of a pickup or a couple of hitters that we got. All right, man. I know you talked about Kyle Freeland earlier. Yeah. I know he got paid. I mean, is he just pick him up now, put him on your bench?
I would wait to start. Most definitely. I would wait 1 or 2 starts. If he starts 2-1, 3-0, yeah, I would try to pick him up. But until that happens, no, I'm not going to touch him.
I think if you have a roster spot and you're just floating it around, I say why not? I say, pick him up. Pick him up. I mean, this guy got paid. I mean, the guy's 24.5 points. I mean, these 2 guys, the next guy I want to talk about too, also, I mean, you pick whichever one you want. I mean, it's worth the early stash, I think. But always cause for concern on where you're pitching. And I would start these guys on the road for sure, but if they're pitching at home, that's when you kind of want to put the get that red light going and be like, let's just wait and see, especially on at home. But yeah, same thing with German Marquez. The same thing. You feel the same way about him?
If I had to pick between the two, I would pick up Freeland over Marquez. I feel like Marquez, that was just a little more of a hot game for him, and he's going to go fizzle out after that game. I feel like Freeland's more the guy to go to if you're going to pick between the two.
Okay.
Right. I'm not picking up Marquez at all.
Yeah, he's always been a pitcher that's like 10-10 with a 4.5 ERA. So yeah, he's always been there. But Freeland, yeah, he's a little bit more of a dominant, more dominant pitcher than Marquez. He's not just throwing them out there. He's painting the outside corners and trying to get those strikeouts. Next guy we got up is Tucker Davidson, starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels. I'm not too hyped on this guy because he did pitch against the Oakland A's. Oakland A's don't really have too many weapons out there to be, or offensive weapons out there. So I'm not really, putting all my chips in the basket on this guy, man.
Yeah, I honestly don't know a whole lot about the guy in general, but I don't think he's really had much success overall, and he only pitched 4 innings. So I mean, I'm not really juiced up over 4 innings pitched. So I mean, that's all I can really say about the guy. I guess he played the A's too, but I mean, the A's, they're not no slouches by any means. So it's an MLB game. If he's pitching AAA, maybe I would give him a little more success. But
so this guy earned a 4-inning save. That's why his points are up there so much. But they do have him as a 6th starter. For going forward in the season. But a 4-inning save, so that's something that's very rare that you're not going to see too much. It's just that it looks like maybe their pitcher got knocked out early or was hurt, and he kind of just took over. Yeah, so it's a straight pass for me on this guy for sure.
Yeah, you're not starting the guy.
Yeah, I think next guy up, Andre Jackson, the same deal. I think he had the same deal with him. He had a 3-inning save, I think. So that's why he's up there. So he's another guy you kind of want to. He's just a reliever. I know he's going to be up there in points. And when you're looking for like reliever help, always check that out. I mean, you're going to see a guy get a 3 or 4-inning save, but that's something that's not going to be every week, man. That's like a one-time deal, and that's why you see them up there on the points, right?
Yeah, these guys probably won't. These guys will probably get you. This will be their only save for the whole year, probably. So, I mean, these guys aren't even everyday closers. They're just long relievers who come in when they're, like you said, their pitcher gets bopped early. Maybe their pitcher only goes 3 innings, so they need a long relief. They'll go 4, get the save or the hold, and then they'll bring the closer in to end it.
Yeah. All right, and then one guy we really, kind of really want to take a look at is the New York Mets. What's that? Taylor McGill.
Yeah, I know he got brought up. I heard about that late.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Talk about him a little bit. Looks like he's going to be the number 5 starter going forward.
Yeah, he's a young guy who had a lot of success before he got hurt last year. He was pretty hyped up. I didn't even know they brought him up from AAA. So I was kind of like, when I heard about it, I was like, what? So that's one guy I would definitely leave your eyes looking at a lot, because I think he could help your team out a lot if you need some help at the starting pitcher position.
Is this a pickup right now, or is this a pickup you wait and see?
I'd pick him up now.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as that. I think he's worth stashing right away. I think, especially with the Mets, you're gonna get some run support there, and I just like the pick right there, man. Starting pitcher, if you need help, for sure. It looks like he's there because he's filling in for Justin Verlander. I didn't know Justin Verlander was kind of banged up.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely got hurt. I know he got hurt. I don't know the extent of his injury, but he did get hurt. And I think I want to say he's out for a decent amount of time for sure.
Yeah, it looks like a major strain he has for
Justin Verlander. It's like a weird muscle too, like a weird funny name for the muscle.
Yeah, I don't even want to try it. But looks like, I mean, if he's out for a long period of time, for sure, man, this is a go get him right now. I mean, if I had the spot for him, I think I would take this, a shot at him. Let's look at his stats, though. I mean, yeah, he only pitched 5 innings. He got the win. He struck out 7, walked 2, gave up 6 hits, and he has a 3.60 ERA. I mean, not bad. Not bad for a decent outing.
Yeah, I mean, first one coming back off a pretty big injury. Yeah, I wouldn't. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. So yeah, that's a for sure pick. Let's go to the hitters, man. I know we talked about a couple of them. I mean, just a real quick. If we go over one that we've already talked about, man, just real quick, is yes or no? I mean, talking about right now. Do they pick him up right now? We'll go Adam Duvall. I know we talked about him. Do you pick him up right now? All right. How about Trace Thompson?
No.
How about Charlie Blackmon?
100%. If he's on waivers, pick him up.
100%. All right. So now let's go to Mitch Garver. We haven't talked about him, man. Looks like he's only DHing for the Texas Rangers. I don't think he's playing every day, though. That's the thing. I think he just had one good game, and he put him up at 17 points, and he had a 2-homer game with 6 RBIs. Mitch Garver's only eligible to play DH. How you feel about that?
I think he's a catcher, though, right?
No, just showing him at DH.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like,
hey, he's a catcher, but he's not eligible to play catcher.
No, yeah, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. That's probably why he's a DH, is because they got a better catcher, or they just want to be able to play him more as a DH. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not crazy. I'm not rostering the guy in any leagues, so I don't really know much about the guy in general. He's never been on anybody's radar, from what I know. He's never had any blown away moments. So yeah, I wouldn't pick him up.
Yeah. I'm the same way, man. I'm not 100% sold on all that.
Yeah.
The last guy I want to talk about is actually we talked about him earlier. He hit the injury with the finger, but Jorge Mateo, the shortstop for Baltimore. So check this stat out, man. He's only got 2 hits, right, in 7 at bats, and he's batting .286, but he's up there with 16.5 points because he's got 4 stolen bases.
Yeah, you said that earlier. Yeah, if he's not out for a long period of time, I would definitely take a look at him. As long as the batting average stays up there, he's at 286. I would like it to be around 300 if you're going to roster him. If he's not going to hit the home run, you need a lot of hits if you're not going to hit a home run. I don't know where he hits in the batting order, so that could be big too. If he's hitting like 8, 9, 1, that's not going to give you very many chances for RBIs. That's to say, like, more steals and more runs. Those are always pluses, but at the end of the day, if you're not getting some success all around, you're not going to have a big week. So don't let that fool you guys.
Yeah. So just double check, man. If you have any questions on that, my boy Big Ant, he's always checking that news out. So make sure just hit us. Man. Yeah, hit us up, man. Right now we're in full season mode, man. We're ready to go, man. We're doing the homework right now, and everything's flying pretty fast, and you want to grab those guys who are actually going to be, if they start out hot, for sure we got our eyes on them, because we want to see if they hit that point where, like, all right, he's worth the stash, or he's worth, to pick up. You got to pick him up fast, man, because there's everybody else is doing the same thing out there, doing the same amount of homework and checking it out. Just luckily for us, like, if waivers, we're up late at night because of work, so we're able to get those guys off waivers, especially this guy Ant. This guy's never ending over here. So yeah, so just if you have a question on any guys, just let us know. Hit us in the chat, hit us on on Instagram, wherever you need to hit us up, man. We want to talk about the double starts real quick. We both have 3 picks each. I'll go ahead and let you take it away, Ant.
Yeah, I got a Giants guy there. I'm taking a little chance on Anthony DeScalfani. He's playing the White Sox in Chicago, and then he's playing at home against Kansas City. I think it's pretty favorable matchups. The White Sox, up and down, in my opinion. They could rock you, or they could go out there and get 4 hits. So I think that one's a little bit of a iffy one, but I think DeScalfani, he can go out there and give you maybe 6 innings, a couple Ks, hold him to maybe 2 runs. That's pretty good for him. And he's rostered in almost no leagues, so he'll probably be available in your league. Johnny Cueto, I like Johnny Cueto a lot. He's always had that swag to him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in Miami now, like Paul said earlier. He's taking on the Minnesota Twins at home, and he's playing the Mets in New York, which is going to be that might scare you guys away, but I'm not really worried too much about it. I think he has that pitching how he pitches the ball to where he kind of shakes off the batters a little bit, shakes them up a little bit. But with the new pitch count, you might want to wait and see on him. But I'm taking a chance on him this week. And then Zach Plesac for the Indians, he's like Paul says with some pitchers, he's like a 10-10 guy, 12-10 guy. But I like the matchups with they're going to Oakland and he's playing Seattle at home. And even the matchups in Oakland, he's playing Kaplerlin. He's not really all that great. So I think Kaplerlin might get rocked and the Indians might get a big win there, 8-2, something like that. And George Kirby in Seattle, he's a young pitcher they're going up against. That could be a little more of a pitcher's duel, but those are my 3 pitches for the week.
I want to take one step back. You talked about that pitcher's timer, the count. Hey, how do you feel so far about that, man?
From what I've seen and from what I heard, I mean, there's not too many issues with it. And catchers are loving it because they don't got to squat for 3 hours. I'm not personally a big fan of it, but I mean, baseball's going to do what they're going to do.
I like it because I was watching the game.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised on how it was flowing, man. It was just going boom, boom, boom. I'm not sure how it, when the pitcher or I mean, not the pitcher, but the hitter asks for time. I don't know how many times you could do that without it being, So I don't know how all that works yet, but just the flow of the game for me to be able to watch it on TV, because, a lot of people don't like to watch baseball on TV. It's so slow. It moves, it's not exciting. That's what a lot of people say. But for me, I could watch baseball on TV all day, especially playing fantasy. I love it. You get the little MLB pass going and, you're always watching it. But for me, the flow of the game, I like it. Everything's moving faster. And I think it's making it, making it a lot better for people to watch it on TV, opposed from the couple of years where you just see the pitcher walk around the mound like 6 times and, grabs the bag and, he's just taking his time, looking over, pick off every like 3-4 straight times in a row. That stuff gets kind of boring, man.
Right on.
All right. So let me talk about my double starts real quick. I've been on this guy before. I don't know, maybe in the draft, but Reed Detmers, I've been reading a lot up on him. It looks like he's owning a lot of leagues already, and he hasn't even pitched yet. So he's owning like 88%. So that 12% that he's out there, I definitely would take a look at him, man. He's pitching against George Kirby in Seattle, and he's also playing home against the Toronto Blue Jays. I like this guy. They say he's electric. I feel like if he comes out hot, I think he could be one of those guys that could be a steal for a lot of fantasy owners, and he could actually be one of the aces that that you just got in the late rounds or off the free agency. I would take a chance on this guy to start him this week. Nothing but good things, and I think he'll be all right. The only downfall for this guy, he pitches for the Angels, and other than Ohtani and Trout, the run support. I mean, they got a couple of guys out there, but it's just the run support's always just been lingering these guys with the pitchers in LA. So, but I think he's just too electric to pass on. I think he's even if he's not getting, I think he's keeping that ball club in games, in low scoring games for sure. Another guy I have is I don't want to. I hope I say it right. Yusei Kikuchi, the pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Another guy I'm taking a look at. I actually just picked him up just before the podcast. He's only owned in 50% of the leagues. He had a great spring. He's actually pitching against Reed Detmers in the second game, and he's pitching against Kansas City at Kansas City with the pitcher yet to be determined. So I feel like Toronto always puts up a lot of runs. I know they did in the first game of their opener, but they're hot and cold. I'm hoping to catch them. I'm hoping to catch him pitching on one of those good games, because those guys, they could just blow it open and where he could just kind of cruise control. He's one of those pitchers. If you give him a lead, a sizable lead, I feel like he'll get into his groove and he'll pitch enough, especially for a double start going into next week. And then Michael Kopech, I've liked this guy. I think I drafted him. I dropped him, and then I just want to wait and see on him. But I think he could be solid enough for a double start. The guy pitches, throws 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and he has that changeup to go right with it to keep those the batters offset. I like his stuff. It's just he needs to be a little bit more consistent. He's been in the league for a couple of years now. He's just still trying to get it all together. But one guy I think he should be able to take a look at. Let me see who he's pitching against. I know he's pitching against got a favorable matchup. Let me check real quick. Yeah, he's pitching against Ants guy and the San Francisco Giants, and he's pitching against Pittsburgh. So the matchups are there. I like the matchups for him. That's one of the reasons why I chose him. It's double start. If you have room for it, I would say just go ahead and start him just because of the matchup. And those are our double starts. I feel pretty confident on those guys. How you feel, Ant?
I like them. I do like them for the most part, but I mean, you never know. You never know what you're really going to get. You could always throw one out there, and then he just has a rough outing, or Kopech. I do like Kopech too. He was gonna be one of my picks, but Kopech he did end of the year pretty bad last year. So I mean, that's kind of one you kind of wait on, but at the same time, if you roll the dice and he pans out for you, that's 30 points right there. 30, 35 points. Like they could be a big difference in the week.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to roll the dice.
Yeah, I think this is the one where you roll the dice just because of the matchups against San Francisco and Pittsburgh. I feel like maybe he can get his confidence going early in the season and then maybe turn around and just be productive. So those are our double starts. Kind of want to talk about our matchups this week. Ant, how are you doing so far?
I'm looking good. I'm up. I think like 173. I'll take a look real quick. 169 to 102. I got some pretty good bats this week. I got some pitchers going pretty well for me. Chris Sale let me down. I might cut Chris Sale sooner than most would. I'm kind of over the Chris Sale guy. I had a lot of faith in him last year and this year, and not looking good. And I might cut him before I would ever cut anybody. I usually hold on to people for quite some time, but I might give him the cut. I might give him the boot. Go pick somebody else up. Wander Franco, like we talked about before the podcast. Wander Franco, he's killing it for me. I try to deal this guy to everybody in the league right after the draft. As soon as the draft did it, hey man, who wants Franco? I got a couple shortstops. I got Swansby as well. So hey man, who needs Franco? Who needs Swansby? Nobody bid. So I waited, and he's killing it for me.
Did you draft him or did you get him off waivers?
I drafted him.
Okay.
I haven't picked up any bats off waivers other than Yoshida. And for the day, Yoshida's giving me 10, which is all right. But Judge, opening day, hit the bomb. Has been pretty quiet since. Nothing too crazy. But my pitching's really been lights out for me. I got CJ Cron. I picked CJ Cron up late, 29 on my bench. So I mean, my team overall is pretty rock solid. But if I would have started CJ Cron, that would have made I'm going to win regardless, but that would have made a big splash for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. On my side of fantasy, it's not looking too good, man. I'm actually losing 138 to 158. I got a starting pitcher still. It's actually closer than I thought. I got a homer from my boy Juan Carlos Stanton.
Ooh.
So that's good. That's always good. That's good news. And then I just need some help, man. I really need some help. I got a lot of Toronto Blue Jays, so it looks like it's coming to an end over there. Actually, it's the bottom 5. So, yeah, I need some help from those guys. Maybe get a couple of home runs. Maybe Vlad Jr. want to help me out, but my pitcher is in line for the win. So it's still close. Baseball, you never know, man. His reliever could go out there and give him a negative 10. It's very possible.
Yeah,
it happens a lot more than you think.
Vlad Jr. can go out there and hit 2-3 bombs, in 3 straight innings.
And then you think you're winning. Oh, it's over. I'm already winning by 5. And then you wake up the next day. He gave me negative 10. Like it happens, man. Pitch. I mean, they leave him in there too long, or they just can't cut the cord in time. But yeah, you never know. It's still close enough to maybe make a little run there. So I'm down only 18 right now, and hopefully I can squeeze one by. It could be one of those 1-point victories. I'll take it. You take any win you can get. Yeah, you take any win you can get in here. Is there anybody on that we're missing out on, Ant? Like, any fantasy guys, any sleepers you can think about right now, or is it still a little too early?
It's a little early, man. In my opinion, because I got like we both said, we don't want to jump the gun too early. Like the guys we bring up are the guys that are kind of that we know about or that are pretty well known in the game already. So the younger guys, we kind of got to pan out and see what happens because there's young. Young guys can have one good week and then don't do nothing for another month. So it's kind of one of the things you just play the waiting game.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have for today. And if you ain't got nothing else, I just want to tell you guys to please make sure you guys go follow us at TIYF Pod on Instagram and Twitter, also YouTube. You can also check us out on Twitch TV at TIYF_pod. You can also check us out on Apple Podcasts or any station you stream your podcast to. Other than that, that's all I got, Ant. I just want to say good luck the rest of today, and hopefully you can grind out that win. And I'll be making sure I keep a close eye on see what I got left. Other than that, everybody have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll catch you guys next week.
All right, happy Sunday fun day, guys.